Join Coach Cam for Dream Camp Empowerment Summit 2022, June 25th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with keynote speakers and panelists, including Coach Nia Small, Keithington Reed, Carla Clarkson, Creed Williams, Dr. Haywood Hamilton, Tierra Saden, Dr. Kelowna Roberts, Nate Jackson, Jermaine Pratt, Deborah Ginyard, and performances including Jay Ty and DJ K Dot, plus breakout sessions, vendors, and more. If you are ready to level up, make boss moves, and fully operate in your purpose, you need to be at Dream Camp. Registration is open now. Go to CameronWashington.com. It's Dream Camp 2022, Saturday, June 25th. Limited seating, so register today.
What up? Welcome to the Midweek Push. It's the place where everyday living meets spiritual insight. I'm so glad that you guys are on and joining us. And we're going to share today 4 types of people very quickly. I apologize. I haven't been able to spend as much time with you guys as I normally do because it's a very, 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 very busy season with Dream Camp and wedding and ministry and business. But I am committed to showing up for you all. And so 23 of us are on right now on Facebook and YouTube, but we know we can do much better than that. So go ahead and tag somebody, tag a friend, tag a neighbor, tag an enemy, tag a random person, tag a coworker, tag a ministry member, and let them know that the Midweek Push is on right now. I'm so glad to see you. Patrice, I literally just sent you a text message. Check it for me when you can, because we're working on some Dream Camp stuff. Shout out to Patrice and Indigo Live, who is one of our Dream Camp sponsors. I want you guys to go check her out. Follow her. Go visit her product pages and support what she is doing, and she is a member of our accountability group and MWP. All right. So good afternoon to all of you. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do like we always do. Let's go ahead and put where you're watching from, put your city, put your state, put your town. Pastor Nate, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Come on, put all of that in there. Put where you're watching from, where you are today. And in the meantime, get your notebook, get a snack, get something quick. We may not go for the full hour, but I am going to share with you today 4 types of people that you need in your life. For some of you, it may be something you already know. For others, it'll be an awakening. Either way, it's a perfect reminder for all of us as we are in this time. First of all, how many of you enjoyed? Let me do my shout outs first. I'm going too fast. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, South Carolina, Prophet Ronique, Trenton, New Jersey, Pemberton, New Jersey. Elder Little is in York, PA, Alexandria, Virginia. Sean, what's going on? He's registered for Dream Camp, and he is going to be in the building. I think I said Fort Lauderdale, Shepherdstown, West Virginia, Suitland, Maryland. Marla, good afternoon to you. Willingboro, New Jersey, South Jersey in the house, Dawn. So glad to see you on Forestville, Maryland. Clinton, Maryland. Coach Anaya is in the building. So we are covered all over the place. We're covered all over the place, and I'm so glad to see you on Browns Mills, New Jersey. Yvonne, what's going on? Pastor Kathleen Kim Moore, what's going on? So glad to see you. All right, so listen, we're going to talk about this real quick. My question I was getting ready to ask you, 25 of you are on. Let's continue to tag and share. How many of you were on eChurch Bible Study and enjoyed it? How many of you enjoyed it? And Hope City, start tagging your fellow city dwellers and individuals, because this kind of goes in line with what we talked about last night. We are in a Bible study series on Tuesday nights called Reset, the Power and the Ability to Begin Again. And last night was fundamental. Foundational as well for where this series is going to go. I didn't even get to my notes. The Lord kind of, Chris, what's going on, brother? The Lord kind of just had his way, and we were able to kind of open up our mindset and our insight. Lydia Champion, she's registered for Dream Camp. Lakeisha, she's registered for Dream Camp. Chris is registered for Dream Camp. So I want to share today, very briefly, 4 types of people that we all need in our life. 4 types of people. And I actually may expand this. So I'm going to say this. We'll start with 4. We may continue into this next week. And today's going to be more so informational than necessarily revelatory, unless the Lord does like he does sometimes with us and just kind of bum rushes us and says what he wants to say. And so this is very important for many of you, because in some aspect of your life, you are in some type of leadership role, leadership position. Leadership is your destiny, whether you realize it or not. Then that doesn't necessarily mean in front of a podium or a platform or a pulpit, but whatever place. Pastor Kevin in Africa, bless you. So glad to see you on. Shanae, so glad to see you. And one of the things I said last night, it's kind of a random thought, but I want to say, because I feel led of the Holy Spirit to say it, is that one of the main plans of the enemy is to get you so stuck in your past that you can't be present to build your future. I want you all to hear that. One of the main plans of the enemy is to get you so stuck in your past that you can't be present to build your future. And so if he can get you stuck in the trauma of before and triggers and those various things, it takes away from your ability to be present. How does that correlate? 29 of us are on now on Facebook and YouTube. It correlates to what we're going to talk about today, because when we are not fully present in our future, we will allow anyone in our life. Am I talking good already, or am I talking good? When we are not fully present, we will allow anyone in our life. Our standards are lowered. Our spirit of discernment is lowered. So not being fully present causes us to not be able to really understand and discern the people who are coming into our life. We are not really aware of signs and signals and alarms that are going off about the people that are in our life currently. We kind of just chalk it up. Cousin Carrie, so glad to see you. So that's who they are, or I didn't really see it that way. But how many of you know that there is an awakening that occurs when you are able to be present? You start to see things. It's almost like the rose-colored glasses come off. And every time I start talking about these topics, I think about one of our members. She said, Pastor, every time you're preaching to me, you tell me to get rid of somebody in my life. Brandon, what's going on, man? 32 of us are on Facebook and YouTube. Please like, tag, and share. She says, every time, I'm in church or I hear you preach, it's always about getting rid of somebody in my life. I am not trying to put you on an island by yourself, but what I am trying to get you to do is understand that your future, concerning your future, rather, it's necessary that you have the right people in your life. It's necessary that you have the right people in your life. When I was preaching on Sunday at KDT, many of you pulled out a piece that I said in the clip that we posted, and it was, sometimes you need people who make you mad but can get you out. You don't need people who are always just fully in agreement with everything you do. You need people who challenge you, and you need a broad spectrum of people. You don't need all of the same people. One of the most I won't say toxic, but one of the worst things we can say is, I want people in my life who think like me. No. You want people who think differently than you, so that you have a different perspective. Because if your thinking and mentality is coming from bitterness, coming from anger, coming from rejection, coming from confusion, coming from hurt, and you're surrounding yourself with people who think just like you will never be able to get out of that space. I like what Carletta said. She said it's victory day. I feel a click track right there in the dance. Yes. All right. So I want to go through this real quick, and I pulled some studies and I pulled some information that I want to share with you. And we're talking today 4 types of people that you need in your life. Marla says, what if you have been on that island alone most of your life, letting people on the island? Wow, Marla, that is powerful. I think that question can be answered quickly, but really needs some more time, because for some of you, the way that your life is set up and the anointing and the calling that is on your life, it will require you to walk in a lonely place. Now, I'm not talking about you're isolated or you're antisocial, but there are seasons where sometimes what is inside of you is so precious that God is safeguarding you. And so it's important for us to understand that if we are letting people into our life, it cannot be from an emotional place. Oh man, come closer, come closer. When we are letting people in our life, it cannot be from an emotional place, because what we will do is we will let people in our life who satisfy where we are emotionally, but are not qualified to be a part of our destiny. I'm a poet and didn't know it. We will allow people in our life who satisfy us emotionally, but are not qualified to be a part of our destiny. And so we'll allow people in our life who give us the attention, but are abusive in other ways. We'll allow people in our life who laugh with us but can't pray for us. We'll allow people in our life who are good to go out to happy hour, but they can't get us delivered from where we are. And so it's important that when we're looking at the people in our life, they have to serve a greater purpose. EP, I'm so glad to see you. They have to serve a greater purpose. And when you start really looking at that, you realize that there are very few people in your life who are actually connected to your destiny. Who are actually connected to your destiny, especially, see, here goes the Lord hijacking us, because this is not where I plan to go today. So let's just roll with it. Marla, this is your fault. But for many of you, it's also hard when you are a rescuer. When you are a rescuer, when you are a person who operates in great levels of grace, you're a person who is a fixer of sorts. You're a person who wants to rescue people, and you diminish your expectations of individuals in your life for the sake of rescuing them. But I want to prophesy, and I want to speak to many of you who are on here, that this is the season where you've got to put you first. Hear what I'm saying to you. This is the season where you've got to put you first. You have been rescuing people. You have been enabling people. You have been helping people. And now you're looking and saying, where am I really at in the trajectory of my life? It's the season where we've got to use severe discernment with everyone who is connected to us. And you all know, as I've said before, if you've been on here, and that also includes family. Family is not exempt. Can we just be honest? Can we be honest? We love our families. We are grateful for families, but sometimes it's our family that are the most toxic individuals in our life. We love our churches, we love our ministries, but sometimes it's the people we serve with that are the most toxic. Y'all don't like this kind of talk. Religious people are offended, but here is where we are. It is extremely imperative that you use discernment in this season, and that you have non-negotiables of what is necessary to propel you into your destiny. There are some things in your life that must be non-negotiable, in the way that people treat you, in the way that they interact with you, in the way that they support you, in the way that they push you, in the way that they pull you. You've got to be to the place where you realize, watch this, I'm not letting people in my life because they serve an emotional need. I am letting them in my life because they are connected to my destiny. They have something that I need that is going to push me forward. All right. Yes, Overseer Cam, non-negotiable. Natasha says, speak it, sir. Carletta says, I struggle with putting myself first, moving from having a religious mindset to a kingdom mindset. Absolutely. I was just talking to somebody, Lady Charity, so glad to see you on. Love you so much. You posted something this morning. I think it was a repost that literally almost sent me skyrocketing through the roof. I think it said, you don't know someone, KNOW, until you know someone, NO. I was like, yo, that is powerful. But I was talking to somebody last night, and a lot of times our level of grace can be our Achilles heel. A lot of times our level of grace can be our Achilles heel, because we allow people to take advantage of that grace. We allow people to mistreat us. We allow people to, yes, almost took me out, to mishandle us. But I do want to get to this because we've got to get to this. But I want to talk about 4 people that you need in your life. How many of you, before we do this, can just put in the comments and say, I'm going somewhere? Just put that in the comments. I'm going somewhere. My life is not stagnant. My life is not just connected. Catrice, so glad to see you on. My life is not just connected to my today. It is connected to generations. That the moves I make in this season will break generational curses. The moves that I make in this season will set up generations who won't know my name, but will live off of my legacy. And so everything in my life right now is strategic. I see you, Cece. I see you, Chris. I see you, Lydia. I see you, Carrie. Everything in my life. I see you, Yvonne. I see you, Joelle. Everything in my life. Pause. I'm sorry. Y'all know how my mind is. Lady Charity, if you are still on, I'm going to be reaching out to you and your husband. We're bringing Dream Camp to Atlanta next year, and you all absolutely have to be a part of it. Dream Camp is coming up in July. My mind is just all over the place. Y'all just pray for me. Dawn says, I allowed people to treat me any kind of way, just to feel loved or needed. Yeah, this goes back to the conversation we had about boundaries too. You might have to go back and watch the replay in Midweek Push. But when we've allowed things in our life for so long, it's often hard to transition. There's a level of guilt that comes with it. All right. Y'all, the more y'all talk, the more I start talking, the more we get off track. So let's get back on. All right. So here's the 4 type of people that you need. The first is the motivator, the motivator, the motivator. Chris says, and where I'm going won't give me. Yes, no croutons. You all had to be on our live last night. The motivator, and the motivator is someone who inspires you. When adversity hits, this person sometimes it's their words that charge you. Other times it's their actions, right? And so let's break that down. Who in your life is the motivator? Who is the person that through words and actions are able to lift you from the place you're at? This is the season where you don't need people who allow you to stay in what you're in. This is, yes, Fatima, he's still there. This is the season where you need people who challenge you to move from that dark place. Just by nature, there is a part of all of us, and you may disagree, but it is the truth. There is a part of all of us that is drawn to a victim mentality. This goes back to even the 2 laws that are working in us. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying that you're a victim. I'm not saying you're a woe is me, but something in our flesh, when things happen to us, wants us to give into it. Something in us wants to shut down. Something in us wants to say, this is why I don't trust people. Something in us wants to say, this is why I'm disconnecting. We're most drawn to that. And if we are not careful, we will surround ourselves with people who allow us to subscribe to that mentality. But when is the last time, again, that you had somebody in your life who made you mad for being upset and was committed to pulling you out of there? And so everyone needs a motivator. Here's what else I want to say to you. The motivator understands what drives you, and they know how to tap into that energy. This is so fundamental. It goes back to even what I preached on Sunday. Who in your life really knows you? I mean, who really knows you? Who knows how to tap into the areas of you that are going to recharge you? Who in your life knows the right words to say or the right thing to get you motivated? It's extremely important that in this season you have people who really know the core of you, not just what colors you like and how many bundles you have and where you get your hair cut and what you like to eat. No, I'm talking about people who really know the inner workings of you, who know the mechanisms and what triggers drives you and what motivates you and what stirs you, and they're committed to pulling you out of that place. So I want to say that again. The motivator is a person who understands what drives you, and they know how to tap into that energy. They know how to tap into that energy. Okay. So the first person you need is the motivator. Okay. The second person that you need, we're moving fast, as they would say in church, we on the fast train. 40 of us are on right now. Okay. The next person is the empathizer. The empathizer, EMPATHIZER, if you're writing notes, the empathizer. Okay. So we've got a motivator, and then we've got an empathizer. The empathizer is someone who will still listen to you and truly hear you. This is a person with whom you emotionally connect and trust deeply. You can discuss challenges you are facing without fear because you know the person will put themselves in your shoes and suspend judgment. There is nothing worse than when you are sharing your heart with somebody, and I'm going to be the sacrificial lamb. I will sacrifice myself. Normally, I'm talking about overseer, but I'm going to talk about myself. I have noticed in our relationship, as we have hard conversations, that sometimes because I care so much, I can tend to come to a judgment quickly or be very harsh without completely hearing her out or completely listening before I make an assessment. And I believe that this is where what many of us need in our life is we need somebody who we know will hear us and can suspend judgment. Somebody who's not going to do that. I told you so, Brother Willie. So glad to see you. Somebody who's not going to bring up the past mistakes, but they can truly hear you. I want to read that again so that you get this. I know today is very informational, more than revelatory rather, but we need this. We need this. Excuse you, Coach Naya. That's her Facebook user. Excuse you. All right. So again, the empathizer. This is a person with whom you emotionally connect and trust deeply. You can discuss challenges you are facing without fear, because you know the person will put themselves in your shoes and suspend judgment. Why am I saying this? Because what I want you to begin to do as we're talking about these individuals is also be able to pinpoint who these people are in your life, or if these are spaces you need to fill. Dawn, I'm so glad this is blessing you. Are these individuals who are in your life, or are these spaces you need to fill? And here is also the thing, is that we have to be very aware that we cannot make people something they are not. And a lot of times the disappointment that comes in our relationships, our friendships, our connections is that our expectation is greater than the true capacity of that person. I see you, Lady Charity. Well, you know, you've got me and Overseer. So, we don't get to talk a lot, but you got us. You got us for sure. But we cannot, a lot of times disappointment comes because we have an expectation that people do not have the capacity to fill. I'm not saying Elder Caleb, so glad to see you. I'm not saying they don't want to be that. I'm not saying they haven't tried to be that, but there are some people who, just the way they are built, they cannot be that to you. And that's a hurtful place, because there's a lot of times that individuals can have great qualities to them, but cannot be what you specifically want them to be. And you will save yourself a lot of energy. You will save yourself a lot of heartache. You will save yourself a lot of disappointment when you are able to see people for face value. When you are able to see people for face value. I've got people in my life who I know where they fit. See, we're trying to put round people in square. You remember when you were a kid and you had the round peg and the square hole? We're trying to put people in compartments in our life that they are not built for. They are not built for that. And we're arguing, we're trying to explain, and they just literally, that is not a capacity that they have in your life. And you've got to be okay with that. You've got to be okay with saying, I love this person. They love me. They're good for this, but they cannot fulfill that. And that's very, very important. So as we're talking about these types of individuals, my prayer is that you will do an assessment. So glad to see you this weekend too, Nicole. My prayer is that you will do an assessment of who is in your life. Pastor Peterson, man of God. So glad to see you. All right. So what do we have? We got the motivator, right? Then we've got the empathizer. I want to read it one more time. The empathizer is what? Is someone who will listen to you and truly hear you. This is a person with whom you emotionally connect and trust deeply. You can discuss challenges you are facing without fear. And I want to add another one, and without jealousy, because you know the person will put themselves in your shoes and suspend judgment. Okay. Carletta says, Dr. Maya Angelou taught us that when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Yeah, I am the type of person, you only got to show me once. You only have to disappoint me once. You only got to show me jealousy once. Once I know that's in you, you are immediately, what's the thing we were doing on Facebook? There was an immediate red flag. There was an immediate flag on the field, because that lets me know that you have that capacity in you. Now, see, some of you, grace is rising up, because you'll say, oh, they didn't mean it. Oh, that was just a one-time occurrence. But that is a clear indication. Yes, Elder Caleb, you only have to show me once. And I was talking, I don't know if EP Guy is on, but I was talking to her this weekend. And what the Lord has done is he's given me a grace. Everyone does not have this. Some of you will. You can agree with me if you do. He's given me a grace to know the potential and the capacity of people and still entreat them in love. I think that's a pastoral grace, because nobody has to deal with that greater. Coach Nye, you on here. Lady Charity, Pastor Chaz is your husband. Nobody has that grace greater. I want to be so transparent and not petty, but just so real right now, but I'm not going to do it. But there is a grace. Nobody has a grace like pastor when you can pastor people who you know have talked about you. When you can pastor people who you know are betraying you, when you can pastor people who you know don't really like you but just need what you have. Y'all don't want to talk to me in here. That's heavy. That may not be an afternoon word. That might be an evening Bible study word. But there's a grace that God gives you. And I believe that for many of you, that grace is also a part of your life. But you've got to be, yes. Ain't nothing worse. Church people are something else. Thank God for a healthy church, but I've had my share for sure. All right. Don't y'all provoke me, because y'all know I'll go all the way in on that. And this is not what this is supposed to be right now. So please don't provoke me. Okay. I see Overseer Camilla, another leader. Don't provoke me on here, because we will have a whole Bishop Peterson, same thing. We will have a whole conversation about that. There's a grace that God gives you to lay hands on people who have put a knife in your back. Chris, don't do it. Chris, you're part of the adjutants now. You're not supposed to provoke me, All right, employees too. Absolutely. Like I see, why are y'all doing this to me? Like, I have receipts that I'm just waiting for the day. All right, I am just waiting for the day. All right, here we go. We're coming out of there. All right, so the third is the challenger. And again, today is more informational than it is revelatory, but it's necessary for us to move into the next season of our life. Shamar, so glad to see you, Prophet. The challenger. The challenger is the person who will push you out of your comfort zone. You may think you have your mind made up until you have a conversation with the challenger in your life. Have you ever had somebody in your life who you've got your plan, you've got what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and that person comes along, and here's the difference. They challenge, but they don't judge. They give you a different perspective. They are fully in support of your decision, but they challenge you to see it a different way. Now, having a challenger in your life means that you've got to be confident in who they are, and you cannot be intimidated by the challenger, because there was a very thin line when it comes to having challengers in your life. Because if you are not secure in yourself, if you are not trusting completely and wholeheartedly of who they are, you will become very bitter with that person. And I believe there's a lot of us who we have removed people from our life who really, we saw it as judgment, but they were really just challenging us. Oh man, come on here. We saw it as judgment, but they were really just challenging us. And we've got to be very aware. Yes, Marlo, defensive. We've got to be very mindful and very aware that there are some people God puts in our life to challenge us. Immediately, just now, thinking about that, I think of David. I think of even when David had to be rebuked by the prophet Nathan after sleeping with Bathsheba, right? David understood. He didn't necessarily get offended, but he accepted the counsel. He accepted it because he understood who Nathan was. And see, here's the thing: is we have to reestablish our level of trust. I was just teaching with a segment of Fatima says, "Oh my God, some of my closest friends are gone because I like to see all sides." Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm the same way. I was just doing a session with some of my leaders in ministry. And one thing that I shared with them that is so necessary is whenever you are dealing with friendships, whenever you are working on a team, whenever you are working with people, there has to be a level of trust. Because if there is no trust, it becomes very easily to breed jealousy and bitterness. Hear what I'm saying to you. If there is no level of trust, some of you, I'm gonna be the apostle for a minute, but some of you got friends right now who you really don't like. Some of you have people in your life who they tolerate you, but they really can't really stand you. Isn't it amazing the toxic behavior that we have in relationships? And a lot of that is because there is a tainting of trust. And what I said to some of my leaders that I was sharing with is that in moments of challenging, in moments of correction, we've got to trust each other so much that we are not offended by being challenged. We've got to trust each other so much that we are not offended by correction. We've got to know each other so much that even if you come to me in a way that seems a bit more aggressive than normal, I know you and I'm so connected and I trust you so much that I am aware of your intention in my life. And when I understand that, then I'm able to receive the hard thing. I'm able to receive the challenging. I'm able to receive the new perspective because we've built such a level of trust and connectivity that I don't have to question what your motive is or where you're coming from with this. Does that make sense? Willie says, when there is no trust, there is nothing to work on in any relationship or friendship. Fatima says, folk don't want to be challenged, especially when they are emotional about a thing. Yes, absolutely. But here's the other side. Let's play both sides of the fence. Let me be lukewarm for a minute, Jesus. On the same point, if you are a challenger, you've got to make sure that you yourself are also open to be challenged. And if you are a challenger, you've got to make sure that the areas in which you are challenging individuals, you are also operating in your life. But that's a very true point for Fatima. We don't like to be challenged. Dawn says, been hurt so many times. I have a hard time trusting those who really mean me well. Yes, Dawn, and I'm praying for your spirit of discernment, not just you, but for many of you who are on here, that your spirit of discernment will allow you to be able to see the character of an individual. Pastor Pickney, so glad to see you. To see the character of an individual before the offense or before the hurt occurs. This is a season for many of you where your discernment has to be heightened because there is a plan and an assignment of God that is on your life. And here is the thing you must understand. Man, oh God, I've said this before, but I want you all to hear it. Whenever there is a plan or an assignment, a greater season over your life, the enemy understands one very important thing, that as you elevate, you need new provision. What does that mean? It means that as you go to your next level, as you go to your next season, there is a new group of people that have to go with you. This goes back to what I said in the beginning of understanding the capacity of people. Okay, let me tie this all together very quickly. There were some people who, where you were, they had capacity for that. But where you are going, there's a greater capacity that is needed. Why do I say that? Because one of the biggest tricks of the enemy is that he will often send people in your life that look like help, but are really a distraction. You got to hear what I'm saying to you. He will send people in your life that look like help, but are really a distraction. And if your spirit of discernment is not heightened in this season, you'll be praising God for what is really a trap. You'll be thanking God for what you really should be rebuking and disconnecting from. This is the place that we've got to be in. So understanding these four individuals or four types of people that you need in your life is necessary, because now you have a way to identify who's in your life. You should, every single person in your life, thank you, Prophet, every single person in your life, you should be able to identify who they are. This person is my challenger. This person is my motivator. This person is my intercessor. Every single person in your life, you should be able to identify why they are in your life. Yes, overseer, they will look like help. You'll be praising and thanking God, saying, God sent my help, and not even realize the whole time that they are a trap. Okay? The Bible says when the saints went to worship, the enemy went also. Okay? He is the master of camouflage. Okay? So you got to be very aware of that. Every single person in your life, you need to be able to identify who they are. What is the purpose that they serve in your life? Okay? So let's go very quickly one more time. Okay? The motivator, the empathizer, the challenger, and then the accountability partner. Come on, accountability group, 7:30 a.m. If you all don't know, I do a 7:30 a.m. accountability group. It is a private group where over 30 of us get on every single Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. and receive impartation, receive principles, receive tactics. If you want to join the accountability group, it is a private group. It is not open to everyone, but send me an email to CW. Pastor Moore, I need you right now. Send an email to cw@CameronWashington.com. Yes, AG Tribe. Everyone who's in the accountability group, put hashtag AG Tribe in the comments if you're on right now. Okay. So the accountability partner. Okay. What are we talking about? If you're just joining us, we're talking about 4 types of people that we all need in our life. We're going to do 4. We may do 4 more next week. Okay. The accountability partner is someone who will help you keep your commitments. Oh, some of y'all gonna log off. Please don't log off. Come closer. Come. I see you, AG Tribe. Someone, excuse me, who will help you keep your commitments. They understand your goals and what you need to do to accomplish them. Coach Naya, are you on right now? We are each other's accountability partners. And sometimes I know for a fact, Michelle, so glad to see you, Michelle Harris. I know for a fact some days she wants to rock 'em sock 'em me because I am just like on her like white on rice. But that is because of what we have here, because I want to help her keep her commitments, and I understand her goals. I understand where she's trying to get to. I understand what she is trying to do. And I'm at the place, honestly, be fully transparent with you, that I'm at the place now where I'm looking for greater accountability partners, even for myself, because I feel like, as I've been telling you all, I've reached the end of a certain season, and now I'm moving into a different season, not only with with my apostolic affirmation, but even in the marketplace, in now focusing on coaching and leadership development and master classes and summits and mentoring. So it's important for me that I realize that now I need to also be looking for greater accountability partners. Okay. So this person understands your goals and what you need to accomplish them. Okay. Finding people without an agenda. Hello, somebody. Finding people without an agenda who can truly support what you're doing, truly support you while doing the tough job of holding you accountable. I don't know what just happened there. The enemy tried to attack my tongue, so I'm going to read it again. Finding people without an agenda who can truly support you while doing the tough job of holding you accountable. Without an agenda, but can truly hold you accountable. Okay. So again, why are we doing this? 40 of us are on right now on Facebook and YouTube. Why are we doing this? Because as I just said a few moments ago, it is essential. Excuse me for a minute, y'all. It is essential that we are able to specifically identify what role the individuals in our life play. I've been saying it for the longest time. I think I just said it Sunday when I was preaching in Baltimore. This is for those of us who are ready to, first of all, where's my bosses at? Just give me some fire in the comments. Give me a hand up. I need to make sure I'm talking to some people who are ready to go to the next level, who are like, you know what? By all means necessary, I'm elevating in my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, my business, my ideas. I need to see you in the comments, because what I'm getting ready to say to you is specifically for you all. You all pray for me. I'm still trying to get rid of this, whatever it's been for the last weeks. All right. I see that fire hitting the comments. Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure that I got some next level people on here. Carletta, you took the words out of my mouth. All right. This is what I want to say to you, and y'all will holler back at me like we're in a holy convocation on closing night, okay? You'll shout back at me real big in the comments, all right? This is the season where I need people in my life who are more than just a good laugh. This is the season where I need people in my life who are good for more than just a happy hour. This is the season where I need people in my life who are good for more than just a group thread of memes and gifts and what the latest, greatest thing is. I need people who are not only in my life, but are connected to my goals, to my destiny, to my purpose, and will not let me fail. I wish I had a megaphone. I would scream it from the mountaintops. I am at the place maturely, age-wise. I am at the place spiritually. And I'm not saying you don't have, your cut-up buddies and all that, but can you laugh and pray me through? Can you joke and get me out of this depression? I need people in my life who understand where I'm going, who are not jealous of where I'm going, who are not intimidated by where I'm going, who cannot provide false honor in my life, who cannot provide false support, but truly, wholeheartedly, emphatically believe in where I am going and what I am doing. And I am telling you, for those of you that will get into the spirit realm and begin to pray, it's going to be a tough place, but I'm praying that your faith fails you not, because the Spirit of the Lord is going to reveal to you that there are many people in your life who look like they are for you, but do not truly believe in you. He's going to reveal to you that there are people in your life who are clapping with false honor. But on the same end, I believe, again, that with promise, there is always provision. And that provision is not just finances, not just networks, not just business. That provision is that when you begin to release individuals who no longer have the capacity to I'm sorry. I feel the Holy Ghost. When you get to the place where you have the strength to release people who are not connected to your destiny, God will send individuals that you need to push you, to propel you, and to accelerate you. And we've got to stop holding on to people because we have history with them, because we like the same color. We've got to get to the place where by all means necessary, it's not that I don't like you. It's not that I don't love you, but I am in the place where I need people who can pull me to where I need to be, who can motivate me. Come on, 4 people who can challenge me, who can empathize with me, and who can keep me accountable. And this requires you to be very clear with the people in your life of what your expectations are. When is the last time that you went to your best friend? When is the last time that you went to some of your family members, that you went to your spouses, that you went to your children, and you said to them, "This is what I need from you." Now that sounds selfish, and some of you, that's giving you anxiety right now. But when's the last time that you did that? When's the last time that you made clear your expectations of people in your life? One thing about me for sure, and it took me a long place, overseer, she says, I can't imagine you ever being like how you are now. Because I'm very decisive. I'm very clear. I am a pair of scissors in the spirit. Like anybody can get caught if they act crazy. There is nobody who is exempt. Because one thing that I am absolutely sure about is that my peace matters in this season. And so I'm very clear about making sure that everyone who is in my life understands the expectations that I have. Not only that, but I'm also very transparent about whether or not I can fill the expectations they have. Not so long ago, somebody who was connecting with me and wanted to be mentored and wanted to be close. They sent me a text message, and I guess they called themselves going off, but I got their tail. I guess they called themselves trying to tell me, but I think they were very shocked by my response because their conversation was connected to the fact that they want me to be more connected, and they want to hear from me more. And at least you can text me once a day. First of all, ain't nobody getting a text once a day except for my soon-to-be wife. So you can cut that right now. I'm getting mad. Let me come back in the spirit realm. But what I said to them was, I hear what you're saying, but I have to tell you, I am not able to fulfill your expectations. I'm not able, Carly, don't laugh at me. I am not able to fulfill your expectations because, one, my priorities are in a different place right now. Two, that is just not my nomenclature. That is just not who I am. And it's okay to tell people that. It's okay to make your expectations clear and to also tell people that. That's, Marla, you must be in the spirit. And I think Carletta, because you all have been finishing my sentences. Like, that's real. And that's where we've got to be. Because if we would, yeah, it's way too much. It's way too much. It's way too much. That goes back to the whole boundary things. Like, excuse me, you want me to do what? You can lose my number now. Pastors have a whole life, you know, and I had to be freed from that. Let's just put a quarter in the meter, Lady Charity. I had to be freed from that, free from, you know, feeling guilty that I can't get to everybody's phone call. And you know, for me, I know when I need to reset. I know when I need a moment. And I'm very clear about those expectations. Yes, Sean, they are not looking for a mentor. They were looking for a mate. The devil is a liar. Beat it, scram, skedaddle, poof. Yeah, so you've got to be very clear with people about your expectations. And you've also got to be very clear about whether you can fill the expectations of people in your life. All right. So if you missed it, watch the replay. We talked today about 4 types of people you need in your life: the motivator, the empathizer, the challenger, and an accountability partner. And when you start looking at your life, there's more than 4. We'll go through some more. Yeah, Sean. Sean, you getting mad for me? People are nuts. Like, do y'all really? Can we let's just take a pause for a minute. Do y'all really know, like, people are crazy? Like, something like, there's a lot of people who are unstable in this world. I'm noticing it more and more. And I don't mean unstable in a way where they're getting to a healthy place. I mean people who are really off of their rockers. See, you all provoke me, and then you make me say stuff on here that I am not supposed to say. Somebody just put in the comments, Lord, deliver me from crazy people. Like, I don't have, like, what? Like a bag of pecans, Carly. Like, you know, when you get like trail mix and the nuts you don't want to eat that you put to the side, that's what these people are. They are crazy. Oh my God. The Lord's going to deliver us from crazy people, y'all. He's sending the help that we need. My prayer for you is that today blessed you. Janelle, so glad to see you. Janelle, I haven't seen your name in a while. So glad to see you. Yes, Patricia. Skedaddle, please. But Keisha, that is hilarious. Porch light and Nova. Like there are really, all you got to do, I'm telling you, if you don't believe it, y'all provoke me. I got to get off of here. If you don't believe it, scroll on Facebook for the next 2 minutes. You are bound to see something crazy. Somebody post something crazy. I mean, people are just a bag of pecans, man, like, for real. But the Lord is delivering us. He's sending us the help we need. As I was saying, because now I'm just going off into left field. 40 of us are on right now on Facebook and YouTube. I'm praying that the Lord sends you people in your life who, again, are committed to your destiny, where you don't have to question whether they are really for you. Can I tell you something? Can I give you a nugget? When God does things in your life, you should never have to question whether you can share it with the people in your life. Now, let's just let that marinate. Let's let that simmer. Chris, you and these croutons. When God blesses you, you should never have to question, yes, CC, whether or not you can share what God is doing. You can celebrate what God is doing. You ought to be able to look around and know that you've got people who are truly proud of you, who are truly ready to celebrate you, who are truly ready to honor you. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to do an assessment. I believe that a lot of stress would be eliminated from our life if we really did some housekeeping of our connections. I believe it. Yes, Carletta, we sang that last night. Yeah, Michelle, I'm serious. Yeah, Nicole. Yeah, Patrice. So you've got to do an analysis. It's a hard pill to swallow, but we've got to do it. We've got to do it because there's some things God is not going to release to us when we are still connected to toxic people, when we are still connected to people who are not productive, when we're connected to cursed people, we can pray for it, we can hope for it, we can wish for it, but until we do some of the work of severing so that God can bring who he really wants us to be connected to. All right. So I love you all. Listen, if you choose to sow, you can. It is not mandatory, of course, but if you choose to sow, if something was said today that blessed you, you can sow to $ Cammy Washington. I am so excited. Dream Camp is almost here. Selena says, I'm in tears right now, Pastor Cam. I feel the Holy Spirit in this elevation teaching. God is elevating me and also, wow, dropping off those who are not for the things of God. Yes, it's hard, but I'm trusting God in the direction of elevation. Absolutely. We're praying for you and agreeing with you, Selena. When people want to go, let them go. We got to stop we have to stop getting to the place where we are explaining to people why we are worthy of love, why they need to be in our life. Let them go. Let them go. When people are inconsistent, let them go. When you shared your expectations, when you shared what you need, because it's okay to need. It's okay to have expectations. And when you share that and people still can't honor that, stop trying to make people something that they are not. They don't have the capacity to be that. Let them go. Okay, let them go. Make room for your next. Somebody needs to Facebook that, tweet that. I'm making room for my next. I'm making room for my next. Anna, I love you. Kamani, love you so much, brother. All right. Dream Camp is coming up. We've got just a few spots left. Carly, can you put up the full screen for Dream Camp? It's a one-day empowerment summit. Mind, body, soul, spirit, marketplace, health and wellness, fashion, music, worship, business coaching and development, networking, all in one place. I told y'all, if you were on our live last night, we are starting the morning with our spiritual awakening with one of my former pastors, Dr. Hayward R. Hamilton, and music artist Jay Todd. And we are ending the day with DJ K. Dot. So we're going to worship and speak in tongues in the morning, and then we're going to drop down and get our eagle on in the afternoon. Religious people will be mad. Those of you who are kingdom will say, hey, Pastor Cam, let's get it. So join us for Dream Camp June 25th. Oh, Michelle, I wish you could be there too. It's going to be amazing. The room is filling up day by day. And we have vendors as well. We just got some more things in, our swag boxes, and shout out to Patrice if she's still on, one of our sponsors. So you all need to be in the room for Dream Camp. If you are attending Dream Camp, just put hashtag DC in the comments. Let the people know you are registered and ready for Dream Camp. And next year, we are going to Atlanta, Georgia. And so hopefully we'll have pre-registration available at this year's Dream Camp for you to register for Atlanta. All right. Paul Moore, what's going on, my brother? What's going on? All right. I love you. 40 of you rocked with me today on Facebook and YouTube. If you're just joining us, go ahead and watch the replay. Thank you, Harley. You can come back to me. Look at all these Dream Camp registrants. You can, what was I just getting ready to say? You can watch the replay again. Today, we talked about 4 types of people that you need in your life. Let's just create community today. What's everybody doing today? How's your day going? Are you productive? Was today powerful to you? Did it impact you? I pray that it did. I pray that you were inspired by this and that it encouraged you. Listen, let me say this by way of announcements. Let's do church announcements real quick, and then I'll release you off for your day. Yes, you will. Oh, Paul and you and Nina are going to be on the one in Atlanta. I'm just working on, I got to make a trip there to solidify location and things like that. But you all are going to be on that one. So that's a definite. By way of announcements, let's do some quick church announcements. My church knows, but I want to share with you all because it will impact Midweek Push. As you all know, we are now 59 days away from marriage, and it is important for me that I take a moment to reset, as I talked about even last night, and to prepare myself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that. What I want to say to you all is for the month of July, I will be on sabbatical for the month of July. This is something. Thank you so much, Pastor Picnic. Love you, sir. Love you. This is something that I do every year, but I've moved it to July. But every year for a month, I take off a complete month. I think it's necessary for any leader, necessary for any pastor, necessary for any CEO that you take a moment. And so I will be on sabbatical the month of July. So that means I will not be preaching. I won't even be at the church. We will not have accountability group. and we will not have midweek push. Okay. The only thing that we will continue is I will still be doing Monday morning prayer. Okay. The Lord has through prayer, has led me to continue to do that. But outside of that, for the entire month of July, there will be no accountability group. There will be no, and actually, I'll let you all know, because I have Ralph and a couple other people in the group who we may be able to still keep that going. But there will be no midweek push. I will not be teaching Bible study, and I will not be at the church. Okay. For those of you who are pastors, you'll agree with me. I don't believe in tricking my church. I believe in building a healthy ministry. So I don't, I just let them know when I'm not going to be there, because I don't want them to just be connected to me. I want them to be connected to the vision. So whether I'm there or not, I want them to be there. Hope City, y'all holler back at me. So I just let them know, like, hey, I ain't going to be here, but y'all need to be here. So Hope City, they know well in advance, and they are well prepared. But I think that's important. I think it's important. Pastors that are out here killing themselves and suicidal and depressed and overwhelmed, I will not be that person. I will not be that person. I refuse to be it. So I am taking the time that I need to reset. I was going to say assign roles and accountability. Yeah, I'll probably do that, because you all are on a great path. Again, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, 7:30 a.m. on Mondays, 30 plus individuals are signed up for my Monday accountability group. So we have a private virtual session. And you all, we're gaining so much momentum. You're right, Fatima. I don't want to cancel that. So I will make sure that there's individuals assigned to keep accountability group going for the month of July. All right. So I love you all so much. I love you all so much. Pray for one another. Encourage one another. If you haven't signed up for Dream Camp, sign up. If you desire to get information on the accountability group, send an email to cw@CameronWashington.com. And let's just keep on lifting up one another. It's next level. It's time to elevate our mindset. It's time to elevate our connections, update our circle, make sure we're surrounding ourselves with people who truly have our well-being and who are connected, not just to our present, but connected to our destiny. If you don't hear anything else, I want you to hear what I said again last night in Bible study. The very plan of the enemy is to keep you so trapped in your past that you can't be present to build your future. Hear that again. The plan of the enemy is to keep you so trapped in your past that you cannot be present to build your future. Okay. And so my prayer for you is that healing will hit your life in whatever area, whether it's childhood trauma. Love you, Dawn. Whether it's childhood trauma, whether it's things you've experienced in a marriage, whether it's things you've experienced in adulthood, whatever it is that the enemy continues to try to keep you trapped in, I am decreeing and declaring that whom the Son sets free is free indeed. You're going to do great exploits. Your ladder shall be greater. I am decreeing and declaring that the favor of God be upon you. I'm decreeing and declaring that the blessings of the Lord that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow will be upon you. I am decreeing and declaring that there is therefore now no condemnation, because you are walking not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. I am decreeing and declaring that you are blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when you come, blessed when you go. I am decreeing and declaring that God is giving you the garment of praise for the manse, for the spirit of heaviness. He is giving you oil of joy for mourning. He is giving you beauty for ashes, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. You're going to go higher. You're going to do greater. You're going to be further than you've ever been in your life. And you will be as strong now as you were then. I am decreeing you will be as strong now as you were then, to do what eyes have not seen and what ears have not heard. All right. So that is my prayer for you, April. So glad to see you on. I love you all with the love of the Lord. I will see you Sunday. I will be preaching at Rhema Christian Center in Washington, D.C. We will share the stream. Then I will be getting on the road to Hope City and preaching there at 3:30. So please pray my strength. It will be a long day, but we are doing what God has called us to do. And I love you all so much. People don't have to do anything. So the fact that you see what I am doing, what I'm saying is a blessing and an impact to your life means so much to me. And I pray that you'll pray for me as I continue to pray for you. All right. Love you all with the love of the Lord. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you soon.